painting acrylic. It's a red poppy flower. And if you're enjoying my videos so far, don't forget to like it and as well as to subscribe to my channel. And there is a little bell that you can hit to get new notifications wherever I am doing a stream live video or posting a new tutorial. This is just a few ways to support my channel and to help me to serve even more to you all. Thank you so much for coming, and let's start. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing first is I'm going to be working my background. So the brushes that I'm going to be using today for the background, I'm going to be using my 2 inches. Then I have my mop. Then I have a flat one. Its number is 3/4. Then I have my 2 filbers, number 8 and number 4. Then I have this small flat. I have a small also number 3, round 3. My liner, and the last one is going to be my fan brush for the texture of the grass. Okay, so let's start with the color palette. So for the background, I'm going to be using my Naples yellow, my cobalt blue, the pale blue, and some white. And for the bottom, I'm going to be using this light bright gray, and I have an extra green that is going to be my phthalo green. Okay, so now I want to use a little bit of my open thinner. So now I want to start by adding my white, so straight white with no water. Hi Chrissy. And I'm going to add white wherever you see the sun in the picture. Make like a line like this. Then I want to grab the Naples yellow, and besides the white, and I'm going back and forth doing X, and even also you can use your mop. I love this brush and it's perfect for blending. Okay, then I'm going to grab a little bit of my light blue, a little bit close to the Naples color, and then go back. And now my mop brush, just soft circles, and I like to clean the brush in a piece of fabric or towel paper, and then go back. Okay, and the last color is going to be in the top, my cobalt blue. I want to have very solid blue. I'm going to put aside a little bit my brush. And I want to clean again the mop one. Hello, Mr. Leonard. And I'm going to be with the mop doing these circles to blend these 2 colors, and maybe I'm going to be need to add more of the blue, but I want to try first like this, and I can see some of the bristles coming out. But when you clean this type of brushes, it's good just to like try to pull out of the excess of the bristles that are almost out. Like that you will avoid to have this type of accidents when you're painting. So I'm not putting too much pressure, and I think it's looking good. So let's go to the bottom. So the bottom is going to be green, and I'm going to change my brush. I want to add with no water. I'm going to start adding the green. I'm not using the belly, I'm using this part, the tip of my brush. Grab a little bit of your dark green, and if you notice I didn't clean the brush. So I'm not going to be like washing, because I want to keep moving all these colors. Very soft and gentle. I want to grab, this is another mop brush, okay? So I want to grab a little bit of my Naples yellow again, and I need to add white as well. Now I'm going to try to clean as much as I can the mop brush, and that's why it's good to have a different, more than one, not different, more than one, because like that you are not going to be like having issues. Okay, let's see. Ready to move forward. Okay, so now that it's still like wet, my finger, I want to grab, oh, let me just clean my finger with your clean finger. So I'm cleaning my finger, clean finger. I'm adding first straight white, and remember guys, all this is still wet. Okay, so now I'm going to have some of my yellow, and I'm going to grab some of my yellow, and I'm going to go first outside the white of the sun, and then I'm going to come close. Okay, going to clean my finger, grab more yellow, and then come close. A little bit of the white, and we're going to leave it like that. Okay, So because when your paint is start like getting dry, if you keep adding paint, then you are going to be peeling. So now it's time to dry it. And let's paint some poppies now. I will start by adding some natural red light. I will use my filbert number 4. I will start by painting the ovals at the base of each flower. The shapes will be irregular, as you can see in the sample. So I'm using my natural red and my filbert number 4. Okay, so let's start to place the first flower. That for me, my main flower, no main flower, but the first flower is going to be this one, okay? So let's start by doing not exactly the shape of the flower, but at least an idea where this flower is going to be. Bottom part, I want you to make this then let's keep moving. The next one is going to be here, but this one is going to be open. So okay, flower is going to be here, and this is going to be my third, I want to say, bigger flower. And remember, when I am, is everybody, not just me, when you're working in the design of your painting, it's good to use odd numbers. Now I'm going to start with the next side of the flowers, like a medium size. So again, I'm going to make another 3. So the first one is going to be here, and I can even make it different shapes. This one is going to be like this one, close. This one is going to be open, but I want to have like a different distance, so I'm going to put it a little on the bottom, just the bottom. Okay, and we are missing the third one. I'm going to put it right here. Well, there's the top. And if you see, guys, I'm using the shape of my brush. It has rounded, and it's really good because you can, like, I want to say, you can even try like stamping. I want to say stamping. Okay. So those are my medium flowers. Now I want to paint the one who are close. So let's do one here. So let's keep adding more. And these that are close as well need to be different position, different sizes, different angles. Another one is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now I'm going to be painting the small ones, and for that I want to go and grab my number 1 round number 3 rounds, round number 3. I'm loading my brush with red again, same red that we have been working, and I'm going to be adding the tiny ones. Okay, so I'm going to start adding one here. And now I want to add some of my cadmium yellow. And I want to grab a little bit of my cadmium yellow, and my brush has already some of the red. So by mixing it, I am making a new red, more latest, like orange, red orange. And I'm going to leave my brush here and grab my filbert. And I'm going to load my filbert. And I'm going to start by looking for my petals. So I'm going to have one dark, one light, one dark, one light. And here we have one in the front. And we're going to come back and keep adding more dark colors. And guys, I am using this part of my brush because I need to control the foldings. So I want you to see this. Sometimes, let me do it this. Sometimes I will go and do the complete stroke with the brush like this, and sometimes I will use just the side part of the brush to make different type of foldings. See this? Okay, so let's keep working this. I'm going to be using more my side of the brush, also this, and also this one. Okay, so I'm going to change my brush with the small one, my number 3 round, and I'm going to be doing the same with the one who are first the tiny ones, just some strokes. And if you notice, I am not like putting too much attention, because here what you're looking for is to see the colors. First the open ones and then the one who are closed. Okay, from the one who are closed, I want to add some in the top. See that? And I need to revisit that we did everything. So now what I'm going to do with this red, I have this red here, so I'm going to put aside a little bit of this red, And I want to grab a little bit of my darker green. And red and green are complementary color, guys. So depend the red that you use is a intense red that you're going to have at the end. And if this is not looking good, it's the red. So let me move and to grab a little bit of my magenta, that the magenta is like a deep red. Look at this. So I want to grab a little bit of this red and mix it. And also permanent red is a good red too. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little bit of water and I'm going to bring my black. Looking for my black. Okay, I have here my black. A little bit of black. And what I'm going to be doing is adding the shadows. A little bit of black. Adding the shadows. Then go back and keep working the highlights, okay? So this part, I'm adding more black. I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to start adding the shadows. So let's start with this one. So the bottom part, and then some in the dark petals that we decide are like this, and this. I want you to go on the top and just drag a little bit of paint. Clean your brush. I'm going to change my brush for the filter. Put a little bit of the water. And I am just moving the paint to the bottom. And this paint to the top. Okay, I'm going to grab again a little bit of more of the black or dark color, and here I want to add in the bottom very gentle like this. And this flower is open, so I'm going to grab a little bit of my this is like a red brownish, and I want to add the middle part. Okay, you see this is this petal is in front, so same color. Let's do it this one too. And this medium one too. And I'm going to move my brush, change my brush. One. Let me just correct this one. Okay, let me some water, more black in the bottom. Yeah, flowers are a little tricky. You are not alone with this one. And this type of flowers is more about the shadows and the lights than more like a definition. So I want you to see how I'm adding the color. Then I go back with my filbert and I'm dragging the paint, and my filbert was clean. my filbert, sometimes I'm using the complete belly and sometimes just a side of the brush. You can even add more like foldings. Here we want to have a little shadow, so I'm going to back with the light. I don't want to, this is a medium and this is a dark. Okay, the medium red, dark red, because we need to have shadows here. By adding this shadow, you are like pulling this petal more. So here we need another type of shadow. Okay, so let's work this one back and forth with my two brushes. Dark color. Then clean my filbert one and more in the paint. You can use the filbert one, also you can use a flat one, small flat one. Then we're going to add more detail to each of the petals. So, but now it's like we're just giving and adding the shadows. It's part of the stem, and this is part of the stem. A little more water. Now this one. And this is a really small one, so I'm going to start to be using my filbert. I'm going to be using the same number 3. A little bit of the dark color again. Next one. Still working the shadows. So the small ones you need to add the shadows, but this time is going to be less detail. So let's start from the left to right. The bottom is very important. Okay, so guys, we have the first part of the dark area, okay? So what I'm going to be doing now, clean your brush very well, because we're going to go back with our lightest red. Back with the lightest red that we have here, and I am adding more yellowish, my cadmium yellow, to make this like light. Now it's a light orange. If you see this type of flowers, because I'm going to start adding more light tones, so I need to try it here. Yes, it is good. So I'm going to use the tip of my brush, and I'm going to add some strokes to give more light into the petals. So we're bringing more light. Okay, use some strokes here and there. So if you see, guys, I'm just adding some strokes, and what is very important for you to do is to follow the direction of the petal. Okay? And these petals are important here to add the lightest part in this curve. And then I'm going to clean my brush and blend it here. Okay, let me just move this color more here. Okay, grab a little more and let's work this one. So this part of the petal, clean the paint and then drag the paint like this. Look at this. So let's grab a little more, and I'm going to be adding some light here. Look, my brush here. And when I start adding the light colors, I like to correct my petals in the sense of if I lose some of the shapes, when then I start like, okay, so this is going to be like this. Okay. And the tiny ones is going to be the same. More in the top of the petals than in the bottom, something like this. I'm going to grab a little bit of my white and grab a little bit with the tip of my brush, and the sun is coming this way, right? So I want you to start adding some highlights wherever you feel the flower will like project more light color first, and then the reflection of the light of the sun. I hope this makes sense. So this part we need to be working super slow. Yeah, my jerky. So yeah, with a little bit of paint, not too much paint. Okay? So back and forward. With a little bit of the paint. And I'm going to add a little highlight in this part, and I'm not going to be blending it. I'm going to just leave it like this. Okay, so each like petal has different reflections, so you need to decide where and how much. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to drag the paint a little bit here. The reflections are going to be different. Okay, a little bit here and there. See? Okay, let's keep moving. Next one. So the sun is here, so I need to this like this side of my petals, how big they're going to be. So by defining this, cleaning my brush, I can define more. I want you to see how I'm moving the white. So now the colors stay in the bottom, but you still can see it. Here we have a big light. I'm going to clean my brush, and as the bristles are a little wet, I am using this to move the white like this. A little bit of white, and now this. Cleaning here, and if you feel like, oh, it's too much white, use your colors. You have colors in your palette, so go back and use all the colors that you have in your palette until you feel, oh, this is ready. Okay, so I'm keep adding my white. And defining the petals. And some highlights are going to stay with no blending, like this one. Okay, so let's work this one. Cleaning my brush, I'm going to drag the paint. If you feel the paint is not moving, just with the tip of your brush to be able to have a little bit of water to help you to move the paint, okay? And this type of flowers, it has all these foldings. A little bit of water to make white. Clean the brush. I'm just swapping a little bit this white because this white is more like a red. It's not that white. I add some of the red. Okay, now that I have red, I don't want to waste the paint. Okay, so then let's go to do the medium ones. So let me just clean. And this part is, everything is the same. Okay, now we're going to do the small ones, and the small ones again are going to be just some strokes. We don't need to define, just give like some areas of highlights like this. So if the sun is here, the highlight is here, and the highlight is in the top, here in the left. Here in the left. Too much. Okay, so now I want to go back, clean my brush, and I want to go back with my darker brown with water. That I have it here because I want to define my last strokes of the shadows. And this time again we're going to be like plain, just some strokes to give some foldings. Okay. I need to define better this petal. I want to have it bigger. And I'm going to grab some red. Now they start looking more like flowers, right? So I'm going to go back with my darker red and my red to define better. So I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm grabbing a little bit of the red. And some of the petals are like out, in the sense that they are not the same side, so I'm trying to keep that idea. Okay, keep adding. I'm going to add some of the lactol red here and there, some strokes. Okay, so we're ready to keep moving, and I'm going to use my liner to add some of the stems. So I'm going to grab my black with water, and I'm going to start adding some stems. So I need to just to flip a little bit my paint just for this. Okay, so let's start this one. More water, because I want to have more like the paint more like liquid, and in the front too. And then I'm pushing because I want to have the stem thicker in the bottom. Okay, so now this one. Because we have plenty space here, so I will figure out where is the best. Okay, we have here space, so let me just flip again my canvas. Three round. I need to be careful. water. It's too thick. Okay, we have the first one. So let me just go back and decide where going to be the next one. Another one here and one here. Okay, so before that, let me just add some dots here in black. This part needs to be like straight black, but then I'm going to be adding some dots like this. Okay, again, some black here, loaded, and some dots. I think these are the only one. I think here. Okay. I can see I missed one stem here. Oh, I need water. If I don't have enough water when I'm doing these lines, the paint gets stuck. Okay, now it's time to dry it. Okay, I'm back, and now I want to add some of the yellowish into the sun. So for that, I want to grab my flat brush. I have here a little bit of the yellow, and I'm going to start using just a little bit of the paint, and I'm going to be like dragging the paint like wherever I feel this like yellowish is moving. But if you notice, I just barely touch the paint. Let me just grab again. And now I want to go in the top, wherever you feel like the sun is like changing the tone, you know, just a little bit, just really a little bit, and then load it in your canvas and go back like here, this part. Maybe this part, the top, this part, and it's dry. I don't have water in my brush, okay? Wherever you feel the light of the sun is like touching, just grab. When you feel it's ready, wet your brush, clean it, and this is still a little wet. It's not wet. I think I clean with water, but then I dry it, but it still is a little damp, my brush, just to blend this part. Okay, so now it's time to paint some of the grass. For the grass, I have my fan brush, and I have my dark green and my light green. So I'm going to wet first with my light green, load very well my brush, and we're going to use another green as well, but we're going to start with this light and then go back and forth. So with this part of my brush, I'm going to start like adding some grasses. And again, don't worry if you cover some of the flowers. So something that I like to share with you guys is I'm going to paint here. When you paint grass, maybe I want to just move this camera more this way because I want you to see that part. I want you to see how I use this part of my brush. First, load very well your brush with the paint, okay? And the paint has water, so see how good loaded the brush is. And then I want you to barely touch and move the same. I start in the same direction. Look at this. Okay, then start a new bunch. Load your brush. Be careful the amount of water because you want to have thin. See? You want to have also long brush, long like grasses here. Let me just move more. Part. Then you can use this part of the belly. And then go back. And look how I'm moving the brush. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to use the dark green that we have here, but I'm going to be mixing it with my light green and water, and I'm going to be adding more of that light green, greenish yellow, mixing the color. I need to add more water. With this green, I will paint the next row of grass. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of this dark green, mixing it to the one that I have already, and keep painting more dark grass. I don't know if you can see my hand. And then this is the bottom, little tiny strokes. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of my black . And again, more black. I think this is better. This mix is better. The button. And move it. We're almost done with the grass, guys. So the fun part with the grass now is coming. Okay, with the back part of your brush, I want you to add some strokes the shape of a grass. So pushing the paint. I'm pushing the paint. Now I can see through some of the flowers that are in the back. All directions, okay? Okay, so this part is done, and now I want to add some of the white. Okay, so I have here my white. So the thing is that the white need to be transparent, very soft. So by adding more water is the way to do it. So first I'm going to do the center of my sun. Okay, and one ray, and then you can use your finger, or we can use a clean brush just to soft the line. Okay, this is a dry brush. Okay, load my brush with the white and just find some spot that you feel like, you know, here is a good one. First I try to find the ones that are in the background, and now I'm going to use this part of my brush to control more the circle, okay? And I'm going to go inside of my flowers. And grab a little bit of water and put water into the white, and I want you to add a highlight into the left as much as you can. Here, like for instance, is here in the top, here is in the right, left, and the left, some in the left. Here are some little dots, little strokes. Here in my right side. And let's revisit what we're missing. Time to clean. So I'm going to add straight white here. And then with my finger. when I say time to clean, the idea when you're cleaning your paint and to revisit each part, like for me it's going to be my flowers, so it's like, okay, what do I need to be adding? Oh, here we're missing the little dots here. What we're missing. Always is really good when you feel like, oh, I'm done. Go and grab a coffee or a tea or whatever. Leave the paint alone, and then a couple hours after come back. And I promise you, you will find things that you didn't see it before that need your attention, okay? The two paints aside. So this is the one that I did like I want to say a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and this is from today. So maybe you can see some of the different details, like for instance the colors change, but this is a final idea. And if you are here and you are not my patron and you would like to check my Patreon, please feel free to check this link. Here you will find a bunch of information about my page. If you would like to check more tutorials, watercolor or acrylics, please come over and visit my website. This is my website. I have a bunch of videos for you guys. Some of them free to watch and another ones are tip to own. So yes, we have so much thing that we can be doing together. Again, thank you so much for coming, and remember that every week Thursdays I am doing a tutorial video here on YouTube, and I'm sharing all watercolor or acrylic.